Siri, can you do my Facebook Live for me?
I cannot.
Why not? No answer. Siri, can you write my blog for me?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I thought so.
Yeah, can you do it or not? I'm on a time crunch.
That's what I thought.
That's what she said. That's what Siri said. Thank you for nothing. Well, that was awkward. And I'm RK. This is another episode of Awkward Marketing. You know what's awkward? When your robot won't you do your content marketing for you. Am I right? I mean, it's basically 2018. We only got, 3-ish weeks left to go before we're in the new year. So why can't my robot write my blog for me? Oh, man. Well, I'm RKA. This is Awkward Marketing, and today we're talking about marketing trends in 2018 and the definitive list of what you need to include in your 2018 marketing strategy and what you can leave out. Okay, because we know you've got all these buzzwords floating around. We got bots and machine learning and automation and voice control and, it's too much, right? So how do we navigate all of this? I know that you as a busy small business owner don't have time to read the latest research, to sift through all the latest digital marketing strategy tools and figure out what's going to be the best for you. Because that's what you got an awkward marketer for. That's what RK is for, guys. I've done that work for you. And of course, I'm always studying the latest marketing trends. I'm listening to the podcasts. I'm reading the books. I'm watching the research. I'm doing this, I'm doing it all. So you don't have to. So today I want to wade through the muck and talk about the definitive list of what you need and what you don't need in your content marketing strategy. So I listed off some buzzwords there. Bots, AI, automation, voice control, machine learning. So which of these am I going to tell you to incorporate into your 2018 marketing strategy? Any guesses? Anybody? Get Sandra here, Heather. Any guesses? Well, guess what? None of them. Zero. Because I've got a really short list for you of what I'm going to tell you you absolutely, positively cannot live without in 2018 when it comes to your marketing strategy. And it's not bots, and it's not machine learning, and it's not AI, and it's not voice control. Those are the things I'm not going to tell you you have to incorporate into your marketing strategy. I've got one thing to put on your list for 2018. One thing, people. And that one thing, actually, if you've been watching Awkward Marketing since the beginning, if you were here for our May 31st episode, where I got a broadcast from 2018 Rachel. So I've already talked to the future. I already know what's going on here. This will validate what 2018 Rachel already told us, what 2018 RKA already told us, was that the number one thing, the definitive thing that you have to have on your list for 2018 marketing is going to be, drum roll please, that was a good one, content strategy. What? But blogs are dead, Rachel, you say, but what about, having a drone do all my business for me? What about hiring a robot like in the Jetsons to create my content, to create my marketing? No. This is going to be the number one most definitive thing you have to have on your list. Is going to be a content marketing strategy. And it's not just that I'm saying you got to do content in 2018, although you do, but you need a strategy. You need a documented process. And that's what it's all about. So the Dominican University of California did a study. I nabbed this from Neil Patel's blog. They did a study about how goal achievement was influenced by writing those goals down. So, props to our girl Megan Seeley, the goal designer, because she's my goal guru, if you will. So this totally validates the work that she does. But so Dominican University did this study about how does goal achievement affected by actually writing and documenting those goals. People who wrote down their goals are 33% more successful in actually achieving them. So that's why I say the number one thing that you have to have this year is not just content, but you need a content strategy. You need to write down what exactly do you need your content to do for you and what are the tactics that you're going to use to achieve those goals. So that's number one. You need to set some KPIs, some key performance indicators. You need to figure out how am I going to measure the success of these goals. I'm not going to just throw a blog out there and hope that I get more money out of it, right? So you need to determine, how are you going to measure success? And of course, you need to bake into this strategy, how are you going to review? How are you going to take inventory of how the strategy is working for you? You got to bake that in at least quarterly to review the goals that you've outlined, to review what you've done so far with your marketing, and then to review those KPIs to see how they're working for you. So Sandra Santorino, who is the content, she's a video queen, says content is queen. And I love that. I love that reframe, because kings are out and queens are in. And I mean, that's pretty relevant, actually, given what's going on in the news. Like, welcome to the era of women. We're taking over the world. Sorry, not sorry. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. So, okay. So let's talk about this, your content strategy. So, that is the number one thing, the only thing I'm going to tell you, you need, no matter what kind of business you're in, to have on your 2018 list. Not bots, not voice control, not drones delivering packages to people's houses. But I want to kind of lay out the 4 things this content strategy needs to have, the 4 things that you want to be evaluating and reviewing and putting in to this content marketing strategy for yourself in 2018. Jan says, oh my gosh, that sounds scary and like a lot. Well, don't worry, because this is not scary. I'm breaking it down, making it super simple and straightforward. These are just the 4 things that you need to be evaluating. So we're going to be talking about type of content. So I was about to tell you all of the 4 things ahead of time. No, we're not going to do that. I'm not going to spoil it for myself. So, okay, let's start at the top. Number 1 thing that you want your content marketing strategy to include is the type of content that you're going to be creating. So a lot of times when I talk to people about content marketing, they're imagining that I'm talking about the top of funnel stuff, the stuff that people are reading or interacting with when they're just becoming aware of your business. So this is blog posts and ebooks and expert content, editorial content, all that kind of stuff. That's the top of the funnel content type stuff. But I'm going to ask you to think bigger than just that top of the funnel awareness building content. We need to be thinking about content that meets people at every stage of their customer journey. From the very first time they hear about you, this is how I always describe a sales funnel, from the very first time they hear about you all the way until they become not only your customer or your client, but they become your biggest fan, your cheerleader, your advocate, your referral engine, and that they just love to sing your praises and they love to spread the word about you. So we don't just want to be creating content up here in the awareness space where we're talking about kind of the superficial areas of the business and educating people on the top, the higher end stuff. But we also want to create content for people that are going to be, more towards the middle of the funnel. They're more serious. They know about you. They know about your business. They know about what you sell. And they're starting to really agree that, yeah, what you do is valuable. They're in the consideration stage. And they're still not quite ready to make a decision. So you're going to nurture that. So what type of content falls in there? We got things like, what I'm doing right now, live videos, white papers, expert guides, videos, podcasts, all that kind of stuff that's going to be a little bit of a deeper dive than this top of the funnel. Where was that top of the funnel? Over here stuff. So we want to create stuff for people who are in that consideration phase. And we also want to create content for people who are in that buying phase. So this is going to be things like those case studies and testimonials, product comparisons, live demos, all that kind of stuff. So we want to have content ready for people at where was that top of the funnel? So we want to have content, the types of content we want to create, not just that top of the funnel stuff, but stuff that's going to lead people through each step of the funnel, right? So that's the number 1 thing we want to be thinking about, the type of content that's being created and how we are creating content to address people who are at every stage of the customer journey. So that's number 1. Number 2, we want to be thinking about the tone of content. So if you follow me on Instagram, RKAINK, check it out up here. Just go to Instagram.com/that. Not actually the word that. That's awkward. So if you're following me on Instagram, you'll notice that this morning I posted something about how, I've got good news and bad news about robots. Number 1, the bad news is robots are here to stay, whether it's in the marketing industry or in other sectors. And there's a lot of pros and cons to that. So the more automated, the more technology that we have to replace people in certain roles, There certainly are downsides to that, but so in that way, it's bad news. Robots, AI, that kind of thing, it's here to stay. And it's here to stay in small business, here to stay in marketing, right? But the good news is that people have actually never been more important to a business's success. So if you're starting to worry that you're going to get replaced by a robot in your small business, I can tell you right now, you can take a breath. And I would say, I want to reframe this, and I'll get to this in a couple more minutes, but robots and AI and machine learning and all that stuff actually is a small business owner's friend. But before I get into that, I'm just going to say this. So we know, so automation is here, AI is here to stay. It's being weaved more and more into how we do business. But when it comes down to how people make buying decisions, more and more and more people are more influenced and more trusting of a brand that's got a personal touch to it. Actually, not even a brand. The Nielsen's Global Trust in Advertising survey kind of ranks the trust factors in how people make buying decisions. And in North America, 82% of buyers are more likely to buy from a person they know and trust over a brand, over commercials, over traditional advertising. They're listening to families and friends and people people they like, respect, know, trust, all that good stuff. So that's what you need. That's why authenticity, people talk about authenticity and vulnerability in marketing. That's why authenticity is so important. That's why bringing it, not about authenticity. It's not just authenticity. It's not just being like real. It's also about having a human personal touch in your brand and having that weaved throughout how you do business. And if you're a small business owner, if you're like my clients, you're already, this is good news because you're already at the center of your business. I work with a lot of people that they are service providers. They are working one-on-one with clients, coaches, healers, teachers, all that kind of stuff, right? So you're already at the center of your business. And so you just know that visibility is going to be even more and more important. Used to be, I'm going to hide behind a brand name and I make a big, shiny, kind of sleek, outer, face for myself to make myself look more, look like a bigger deal than I really am. And actually the truth is people want to buy from people. Now you can use, and so this is where robots are your friends. You can use things like AI and automation and machine learning and all this stuff to do some of the back end stuff that you used to have to do, analyzing statistics and coming up with, all that good stuff, analyzing data and finding, what's the best way to reach your target market. We can use robots, if you will, to do that hard work so that we can spend more time connecting authentically with our clients and our customers and being, and so, and Heather, as Heather says, you can't automate heart. So we know that people are more and more and more in 2018 are making buying decisions based on the personal connection that they feel and based on people they like, know, and trust and what their recommendations are and what they have to say. So you want to get more of yourself front and center and visible in your business, which brings me actually to the number 3 thing that you want to put into your content marketing strategy, which is delivery of content. How are you delivering content? So I talked about, people are here to stay. People are never been more important for your business's success is for you to be a vital part of it and for you to be making an authentic connection with your audience. And so how are you delivering that content? A lot of times when we talk about content, people think blogs. And I'm all about blogs. Blogs aren't going away, but we want to add on to, that kind of foundational written content. And I got to tell you, I've already talked about this many times. Video is where it's at. So you want to keep blogging and writing because that's going to continue to be crucial and continue to be important for search engines and all that good stuff. And that actually even goes into voice control. So continuing to create blog content helps you to be picked up by things like voice controlled search and all that good stuff. And I'm not going to go into that because I'm not an expert on that. I'll just tell you that right now. But I cannot recommend highly enough. And I'm so glad that Sandra Centorino was on here because she's the live video queen. So you got to follow her. Follow Sandra Centorino Live. Calm down, RKA. Everything's fine. And check out her weekly show. She's all about video, and she's got the latest and greatest of video tools to keep you in the loop there. But video is going to be big, guys. Facebook video on Facebook gets 135% more engagement than images, than static written content, than quotes on sunsets going through your feed. So video is where it's at, guys, and it's not going away. And live video specifically contributes back to what I was talking about with tone of content, contributes to that personal, authentic touch. I'm not saying that pre-recorded videos aren't sweet, because actually you're going to be seeing a lot more of those from Awkward Marketing next year. We're going to be bringing you some sweet video magic next year, and it's not all going to be live, but having a live video element to your content marketing strategy is super crucial because it is what builds trust. When people can know that you're live, and you're going to get tons more engagement. We know that organic engagement is through the roof, commenting, liking, sharing on live content while it's live. Like right now, I'm not going to get any more comments on this than right now, in this moment, in this video. Now, I do, as I've told you before, also create this content with my replay viewers in mind, but I know that they're not as engaged. They're not like watching the whole thing and commenting like you good folks, like Jan and Sandra and Victoria and Heather, all you amazing women out there who are here with me. Thank you. You are the reason that live video is so important, because you're here and your audience is going to be there more engaged on a live video than they ever will be on a pre-recorded video or a video that's not live. So having live video as one of the types of content that you're delivering, video's not going away, folks. And neither is the importance of authenticity in your brand and connecting with your audience. So video is the way that you can do that. So you want to make sure that in terms of the type of content you're creating in 2018, video is on that list and at the top of that list, to be quite honest with you. So that's number 3. We got number 1, type of content that, so what do you need to include in your content marketing strategy? The type of content you're going to be delivering, making sure you got content for every stage of the customer's journey. 2, tone of content, personal, authentic, relatable connection, human connection with your audience. People are more likely to buy from people they like, know, and trust. You want to be one of those people. 3, delivery of content. Is it blog? Is it video? We want video. I mean, spoiler alert, we want video. So put that video. Okay, number 4, and this is huge. This is huge. I saved the best for last. Distribution of content. That's got to be the number 4 and maybe the most important thing in your content marketing strategy. And what do I mean by this distribution of content? So back in the day, it used to be like blog every day, blog all the time, blog every minute, as much as you can. It was all about quantity, how much you could blog, how much content you could create all the time. Now, because the internet is becoming more and more and more saturated with so much content, there's just so much content, and especially so much superficial, like basic content, just like, how do I blog? You don't write a blog about how do I blog, guys. It's been done. It's been done a lot. You got to find a new way into that topic. You know what I'm saying? But so it's no longer about quantity, which actually is a relief. Doesn't that make you take a sigh of relief? It's no longer about blogging or creating videos or doing things every day. It's about creating solid, hardcore. I like hardcore. It's about creating, I don't know where I was going with that. It's just about creating solid, robust, meaty, amazing content and then distributing it like a pro. So if I do one amazing video, I'm going to then take that video and I'm going to repurpose it in a myriad ways on many different channels and networks. And this brings us into a few different things. Number 1, along with that delivery and distribution, this is where paid ads are going to come in. So if I were to add like a sub list of things you need on your content marketing strategy for 2018, I would say you need to wrap your heart around the concept of paying to play and stop complaining. I'm sorry, I'm being really hard. I'm bringing tough love right now, but stop complaining that you used to be able to get a ton of organic traffic and now you have to pay for it and you're pissed. Well, this train is not going backwards, guys. So embrace the pay to play. I'm sorry, embrace it and embrace the amazingness of these tools that we have to fully connect with audiences that we never had the ability to target before to the degree of specificity that we can. But when it comes to distribution, so part of that distribution is, as I said, it's going to be thinking about paid ads. And then the other part is, taking one piece of content and reconfiguring it, rewriting it, rewiring it so it meets different audiences in different places. Because, for example, if I'm posting something on Facebook and then I post it on Twitter and then I post it on Instagram and then I post it on Pinterest and then I post it, blah, 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 and then I post it on LinkedIn. Each of those social media networks has a different, imagine it's like traveling. It's got a different language, a different culture, a different currency. So I'm not just gonna, for example, on WordPress, you've got tools baked into WordPress where if I publish a blog, it'll just auto post to every single network. So I publish one blog and it'll auto post to Twitter and it'll auto post to Facebook and it'll auto post to LinkedIn and it'll, blah, 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 blah. You don't want to use that tool. That tool is not your friend, because when you're auto posting one single post and one way of positioning that post to a million different networks, you're not customizing it to the audience that's there and to how they communicate and what their currency is, if you will, and what that culture of that network is. So yeah, part of that content marketing strategy isn't just thinking, oh, I'm going to write a blog and then I'm going to copy it and paste it, in 5 minutes, like here, there, and everywhere. It's about taking one piece of content and optimizing it for all of these different networks and making sure that, and it doesn't mean on the same day either. You can take one piece of content and you're distributing it over several weeks. Now, for a really good, deep dive into what I'm talking about here, I super highly recommend checking out Amy Porterfield's podcast, Online Marketing Made Easy, specifically the episode with Jenna Kutcher that she just did about Pinterest. This was really amazing. In this particular episode, they really dove deep into taking one article, one blog, and reposting it on Pinterest in 5 or 6 different ways. And on like 3 or 4 different boards. So you could have one piece of content and you have it on Pinterest in like 8 or 9 different places in 8 or 9 different ways. So that's a super awesome, very clear, specific example of what I'm talking about when it comes to distribution of content. Victoria asks, does it matter if no one, so I'm totally getting this question late. I'm so sorry. Does it matter if no one watches live? Should I delete it afterwards? I loved Periscope and the interaction, but wonder if people will think badly if there's crickets in the live comments. And I would say no. I would say it doesn't matter. Now, I know that it matters for your self-esteem. And I've been there. Who hasn't been there? A couple of months ago, I did a live broadcast where I got like no comments and I realized it was painful. I got no engagement at all. And I realized I was like recording it wrong. I wasn't on the right channel. Like Facebook was broken that day or something. But let me just tell you, it really, like while I'm doing this live broadcast and I see 0 people are there. And right now, literally, I'm broadcasting to 3 people and I'm cool with it. And I'm not embarrassed. I'm cool. But it took me a while to get here. I would say this is where putting a little bit of ad money on a live video after you've broadcasted is super important because, as I said, live video you're going to get a ton more engagement in the moment when it's live, but you should also be thinking that the quantity of engagement that you're going to receive is actually going to be in the replay viewers. They might not be commenting. They might not be there, like writing you messages because they know you're not watching. They know you're not there anymore. They know you're not live anymore. So there's less of an incentive to comment. But the majority of your viewers actually, in most cases, are going to be your replay viewers. So you want to be optimizing your content for your replay viewers. And I would say, does it reflect badly on you? Here's when it reflects badly on you to have a small amount of people on your live video is when you're sitting there and I did this a couple weeks ago when I did my live video episode. You're sitting there and you're like, okay, I see that 4 people are there or here. I'm going to wait until more people show up. So thanks guys for like the 4 or 5 people who are here right now, but I'm going to wait. And then you just sit there and you make a bunch of small talk that nobody cares about. Then you're losing the 5 people that you've got there, and you're broadcasting to the audience that this is this audience that you have is not valuable to you, and that it concerns you that you don't have more people. So if you show up and you're bringing it, that's what's most important, the quality of the content. And then after the fact, if you want to get those numbers up, yeah, that's where you're going to put a little bit of boost on it. You're going to put a little bit of ad money on that video after the fact, knowing that the majority of your viewers are going to be replay viewers, and that's okay. In the end of the day, so I would say I get it. I know it's embarrassing when you're doing a broadcast and you don't feel that there's a big audience there with you, but know that you're creating this content not just for the live video viewers, but also for those replay viewers as well. I'm kind of contradicting myself, but that's what you get when you come to Awkward Marketing. It's a contradictory jamboree. Oh man. So, and Heather says, but paying is amazing. My God, it beats the constant hustle. Yes. So when it comes to pay to play, creating content, it is a long game strategy. I always like to say the content you create today is a gift you give your future self. You, RKA, 1 year from now is going to thank me for this video today. It is not now. Of course, I've got you live viewers here, and of course, I'm going to get people watching the video now. But the effectiveness of content, especially organic content, is a long strategy. It is a long game. So advertising and paying to play, if you will, is an accelerator. It helps you, while you're waiting for that, if I'm just starting a blog for the very first time today from scratch, it is going to take me a good year or so to see meaningful results. Not that I won't see any indicators of success between now and a year, but it's going to take me a year or more to really start feeling the momentum pick up with that blog. Advertising will help me accelerate that year and also will help me make sure that I'm making the most out of that first year. I'm getting faster results because of advertising, in that slow period when you're waiting for the content momentum to build up. And that's true for anyone, whether you're starting a blog for the first time or you're like me, you've been creating content for years, but if I want to get to that next level, if I want to reach that next level of audience, advertising is going to help accelerate what I would have to wait years to achieve with just organic reach. So I'm a fan of advertising. It saves, for the amount that I spend on paid ads, I would have to spend, let's just say I spend $100 on paid ads, I would have to spend $1,000 of my own time to achieve the same results. Let's look at it that way. So I'm saving $900 by investing $100 into paid ads. That's a really simplified way of saying it, but that's what it comes down to. Ashley Fry says, she hates it, that small talk while I wait for people to show up. You're so right. I'm so glad you're encouraged by this, Ashley, because there's nothing worse. You're doing a live video and you're like, hey, I'm just going to wait to see who comes later. Sorry, not sorry. If you're not here, this show is already on the road. Speaking of getting on the road, I need to get on the road. And by road, I mean, and this video, it's 27 minutes. It's been such a blast. But just to review real quick, when it comes to the definitive list of what you need for your content marketing in 2018, that's it. That's it. What do you need for your marketing strategy? What is the definitive list? I'm not going to give you 10 things. The definitive list has one thing on it, and it is a content marketing strategy. That is the number one thing. Forget bots, forget AI, forget voice control. Those things are, those are not the crucial you got to have it things. The number one thing that you have to have on this list is a content marketing strategy. And in that strategy, you want to be making sure that you're detailing the type of content you're creating for everybody all along the customer journey, the tone of the content, making sure you've got that personal, authentic human touch, because people buy from people. 3, the delivery of content. And basically, while I encourage you to have blog content and written content, video content is where it's at. And number 4, distribution of content. You want to take one piece of content and make sure that you're spreading it all over the internet in many different ways. You're going to do that organically, and you're also going to do that with paid advertising to help you make sure that you're getting in front of as many people as possible with that awesome, hard-hitting piece of content. Because as I said, the internet is full of the basics. Hey, how, blogging 101, been done. So you need to create content that you're taking a deeper dive into things, people. And if you're going to go through that deeper dive, you're going to be spending more time on it. You're going to be spending more energy, more research, more money, all that good stuff. So you don't want to do that in vain. You want to make sure you take that sweet piece of robust, hardcore content and make sure you are spreading the love all over the internet, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Pinterest, on Donner, on Blitzen, on... And that was an amazing segue into telling you that this is the penultimate episode of Awkward Marketing today, guys, of the year. It's not, that's it. The last episode of the year is going to be next Wednesday. What day is it even next Wednesday? The 13th? I'm pretty sure it's the 13th. And we are going to be doing the Awkward Marketing Holiday Special. Yes, I am bringing you another musical extravaganza in honor of the holiday season. We'll be singing together the hits, the hits of yesteryear with a awkward marketing touch, as only Archaic can do for you. So join me next week, December 13th, 11 a.m. Central, or catch the replay, because you know I got those replay viewers in mind, for the last episode of the year before we got a brand new format for you in 2018. The last episode of the year is the Awkward Marketing Holiday Special. There will be music. There may be reindeer. There may be a visit from Santa. I'm literally just making that up right now. And so now I've just like raised the bar for myself. There may be. So come in, tune in. I'll see you next week. Thank you for being there. Love you guys. Talk to you later. This is an awkward send off. Bye.